Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Exactly a month ago, Ethiopia signed an MoU with Somaliland. That MoU met with fierce regional international criticism. And when the MoU was signed between Ethiopia and Somaliland, it was said that within 1 month, the MoU will turn into an agreement. An agreement will be signed. 1 month has passed. What does it mean now? Does it mean that Ethiopia is abandoning the MoU? Has the MoU been cancelled? What is the status of MoU now? Or has Ethiopia already signed the deed with Somaliland, but it is not being made public? How did Somalia play its cards in the last 1 month or so? So, what is likely future scenario about this MOU between Ethiopia and Somaliland? I'll try to have a look at these points and questions in this video. I promised in last night's live chat that I'll make a video about the MOU on Friday. Well, firstly, I think the first round has been won by Somalia. If this is the right terminology, of course, it's not sports, it's a serious issue. Uh, Millions of peoples will be affected if there is confrontation, military confrontation between Ethiopia and Somalia. First round has been won by Somalia. We cannot deny that. Because when the MOU was signed on the 1st of January, the two sides, Ethiopia and Somaliland, officially said that within 1 month the agreement will be signed. Agreement has not been signed. Agreement about Ethiopia gaining access to the sea, establishing a naval base in Somaliland, using a port in Somaliland. In return, Somaliland recognized by Ethiopia as a country, and Somaliland getting shares in Ethiopian Airlines. Since so far the agreement has not been signed, that is why we can say that it was due to uh, intense diplomacy by Somalia that Ethiopia came under diplomatic pressure. And we've been seeing that since the 1st of January, since the day of signing of the MOU, Somalia has been busy. Even Somalia was ready to put the fight against Al Shabaab on the back burner. It was saying that it will not let Ethiopia set foot on Somali land, no matter what happens in the fight against Al Shabaab. Al Shabaab issued a statement as well condemning Ethiopia's Somaliland MOU. And then we saw statements from across the world. Arab League met, IGAD met, UN Security Council held discussions behind closed doors. All organizations, all forums called for respect of Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Yes, some issued statements supporting regional integration, indirectly backing Ethiopia Somaliland MOU. But most of the parties, most of countries, most of international forums stood with Somalia, at least diplomatically. They're standing with Somalia. Though some countries issued very strong statements, like Egypt issued a strong statement in support of Somalia. To some extent, Turkey issued a strong statement as well. So Somalia got international diplomatic support. Ethiopia came under pressure. Ethiopia slowed down the implementation. And we saw that protests were carried out in Somalia, in Somaliland too. In Somaliland, some protests were held in support of the MoU, a few against the MoU. In Somalia, the protests were held against the MoU. It means that the first round was basically uh, diplomatic war. It was a war of diplomacy between Ethiopia and Somalia. And I am not hesitant in saying that Ethiopia failed. Ethiopian diplomacy is not working. That is what happened a few weeks ago when PM Abiy delivered a speech and he took a position about access to the Red Sea. And then Eritrea felt threatened. Eritrea launched a diplomatic campaign, regional campaign. Ethiopia came under pressure and Ethiopia turned towards Somaliland. And now Somalia, uh, Isas Afwerki teaching Hassan Sheikh. Hassan Sheikh seems to be a good student. Whenever he meets with Isas Afwerki, he treats Isas Afwerki as the senior partner. Maybe because Isas Afwerki is more seasoned and Eritrea's training, Somalia's Air Force, Navy, and ground forces too. So, first point is that this first round has been won by Somalia. Second point is that can we say that Ethiopia has withdrawn from the MoU or that MoU does not exist anymore because 1 month has passed? Legally, MoU is there. MoU was not time bound. It was not said that after 1 month the MoU will expire if agreement is not signed. MoU is there. But keeping in view the international pressure, Ethiopia is going slow. It is gauging regional, international reaction. It does not want to rush into making big decisions. Ethiopia is not withdrawing from the MoU. No signs of Ethiopian withdrawal. I am pretty convinced that Ethiopia is not withdrawing. Ethiopia will only withdraw if it is given a better deal by some party. No party is giving Ethiopia a better deal. Eritrea not ready to talk to Ethiopia. Djibouti putting pressure upon Ethiopia. Djibouti could have offered something alternative to Ethiopia. I am not aware. Maybe behind the scenes talks underway, but I am not aware of any such backdoor diplomacy. Somalia says no talks with Ethiopia. Kenya already offered its support to Ethiopia, but Ethiopia wants full rights. It wants a base there as well. So maybe Kenyan offer is not very attractive. So that is why, since no better offer has been made to Ethiopia, it means Ethiopia would like the MoU to be implemented, no matter what the cost is. Ethiopia is comparing the situation to what happened during GERD filling, GERD construction. International community opposed, some regional players opposed. It was as if Ethiopia was going to come under attack from Egypt or Sudan. Nothing happened. Ethiopia committed, convinced, going slow. What about the other side, Somaliland? Somaliland more committed than Ethiopia. Why? I have been saying Somaliland is seeing for the first time real chance of recognition as a country. It's a self-declared country, unrecognized by any country in the world. For the first time, Somalilanders hope that they'll be recognized as a country. So why would Somaliland withdraw from this MoU? No, it won't withdraw. Ethiopian position about MoU is ambiguous. It has not so far officially said that it will recognize Somaliland as a country. This is the main problem. While Musibe Abdi is saying in interviews, in speeches, that this recognition is part of the deal. The two actions will happen simultaneously. Ethiopia will gain access to the sea in Somaliland, and Somaliland will be recognized by Ethiopia. Both developments, both actions will be simultaneous. Ethiopia says that it will consider its position about the recognition of Somaliland. This position is not selling, by the way. The international community is not buying this Ethiopian position. The national community knows that Ethiopia has already agreed to recognize Somaliland as a country, but it is not in a position to say that publicly. So, Ethiopia, under diplomatic pressure, its position ambiguous, it is not taking a public position. Somalia playing all cards, ready to put the fight against Al Shabaab on the back burner, ready to use ethnic card against Ethiopia, ready to create conflict in Somaliland too, ready to knock on all doors for military support to stop Ethiopia. Ethiopia under immense pressure. So that is what has happened so far. So far, we can say there is a deadlock. If you want me to sum up the situation, there is basically a deadlock. Somalia showing no flexibility. Abiy tried to contact Hassan Sheikh. Hassan Sheikh not ready to talk. Because if he talks to Abiy, his position politically will be very weak. Already he's under pressure from opposition, from Al Shabaab. He won't talk to Ethiopia. And Abiy cannot afford to withdraw from this deal too, by the way, because if he withdraws, his political standing will take a serious hit in Ethiopia, in the region as well. So it's a very difficult position for Ethiopian PM and Somalia's president. Both leaders are in a difficult position. Future scenario, what is going to happen? Well, it's difficult to predict what is going to happen. I personally think that Ethiopia would like to withstand international diplomatic onslaught which is coming. And then gradually it will try to implement the deal. It will try to implement the deal. It might recognize Somaliland as a country if no better deal is offered to Ethiopia. Somalia will have to change its tactics, I think. Only international diplomatic pressure is not enough. Diplomatic pressure can slow down the implementation of MoU. It cannot totally stop Ethiopia from implementing the MoU. I personally think Ethiopia committed, Somaliland committed, the two could turn the MoU into an agreement in coming days, weeks, or months. Difficult to give a timeline. So far, we can say first round has been won by Somalia due to intense diplomacy. Ethiopia, Somaliland trying to withstand the first onslaught of diplomatic pressure. And then after that, I think they'll press ahead with the implementation of the MoU. Thank you for watching.